Hello and welcome to York Region's fourth and final online open house for the Teston Road Area Transportation Improvements Individual Environmental Assessment, or IEA. This video provides an overview of the information provided during the third open house. The videos from all three open houses can be viewed at york.ca/Teston Road. This video also contains a summary of the feedback received from Open House 3. You may pause the video at any time to further examine the slides. You can also rewind the video if you wish to hear a section again. In 2003, York Region began a study to examine Teston Road from Pine Valley Drive to Bathurst Street in the city of Vaughan. The Ministry of the Environment, Conservation and Parks requested that the missing link area of Teston Road between Keele Street and Dufferin Street be studied as an individual environmental assessment to determine the most appropriate solution for transportation improvements. The first stage of an IEA is to complete a terms of reference study, which establishes the planning and decision-making process for the subsequent IEA study. The Ministry of the Environment, Conservation and Parks, or MECP, approved the Teston Road Area IEA terms of reference in 2018. York Region is now proceeding with the IEA in accordance with the requirements in the terms of reference. The terms of reference can be viewed at www.york.ca/Teston Road. During the terms of reference stage, the following problem and opportunity statement was identified for the project: to improve the efficiency, safety, and continuity of the transportation network within the Teston Road area. This map shows the study area with satellite imagery. The study area is outlined in blue. Much of the southern portion of the study area is already developed as low-rise residential housing and commercial buildings. Central to the study area is the closed Keele Valley landfill, the closed Vaughan Township landfill, a closed private landfill, the North Maple Regional Park, and the Don River East Branch. The study area also has several golf courses and some agricultural land. During an environmental assessment conducted under the Ontario Environmental Assessment Act, two types of alternatives are examined: alternatives to the undertaking and alternative methods. Alternatives to the undertaking are functionally different ways of addressing the problems and opportunities, while alternative methods are different ways of implementing the selected alternative to the undertaking. The first open house presented the alternatives to the undertaking, and the second open house presented various alternative methods such as corridors and alignments for the preferred alternative to the undertaking recommended at the first open house. During the third open house, additional alternative methods or design alternatives for the four sections of the project were presented. The fourth open house presents the recommended preliminary design of the alternative methods for the four sections of the project, as well as potential impacts and mitigation measures. During the first open house, several alternatives to the undertaking to address the missing link area of Teston Road between Keele Street and Dufferin Street were presented. The assessment led to Alternative 4 being carried forward. Alternative 4 was a new 4-lane Teston Road connection between Keele Street and Dufferin Street with active transportation and the potential for transit service. The preferred alternative provided the basis for subsequent stages of this study. Following the second open house and having confirmed a preferred alternative alignment that is shown here, including the widening of Teston Road between Dufferin Street and Bathurst Street, the study team began the process of generating alternative designs for the various components of the project. The next step in the process was to generate design alternatives for the various components of the project. The study team identified 4 distinct project sections, each with its own unique design challenges that would require solutions. The 4 sections are broken down here and shown on the map. Section 1 includes the Keele Street and Teston Road intersection easterly to Rodinia Road. This section includes the GO Rail crossing and a closed private landfill. Section 2 is the area of the road that would pass between the Vaughan and Keele Valley landfills. Section 3 includes the Don River tributary valley crossing, and Section 4 is the existing 2-lane section of Teston Road between Dufferin Street and Bathurst Street. This slide shows the recommended full-width Teston Road cross-section, which includes a 4-lane roadway, sidewalks, cycle tracks, and boulevards within a 36-meter right-of-way in accordance with York Region standards. Somewhat reduced width cross-sections are being recommended, at least as an interim condition, for constrained or more narrow sections of the project. The design alternatives for Section 1 include options for designing the road at the same level as the GO rail crossing, the recommended alternative, as well as for a potential future grade separation, the road going over the GO rail crossing. Road under rail options were screened out as these would be more costly, more difficult to construct and maintain, and would be more disruptive to rail service during construction than the at-grade option. All the potential future GO rail grade separation alternatives generated for this section are road over rail options. Along with the future do-nothing alternative, there were 4 alternatives generated for this section for a grade separated GO rail crossing. Section 1, Alternative 1, includes a GO rail overpass and keeps both Keel Street and Teston Road on their existing alignments. Section 1, Alternative 2, includes a GO rail overpass and shifts Teston Road slightly to the north from its current alignment while keeping Keel Street the same. Section 1, Alternative 3, includes a GO rail overpass and shifts Keel Street westerly while maintaining the existing Teston Road alignment. Section 1, Alternative 4, includes a GO rail overpass and shifts Keel Street westerly and Teston Road northerly. Section 1 features several industrial uses such as shipping and receiving warehouses and manufacturers, as well as the Barry GO line, which passes vertically through Teston Road. In the interim, York Region will proceed with an at-grade GO rail crossing with an improved Teston Road alignment, shifting the road to the north. Proceeding now with an at-grade crossing will have no impacts on property and all accesses can be maintained. The IEA is also recommending the long-term property protection for a grade-separated GO rail crossing. For the future grade separation, Alternative 2 would be carried forward for implementation. This is because this alternative would perform well from a transportation perspective while also having less impacts on property, development areas, and the recreational facility in the Southwest. Section 1, Alternative 2 is presented here as the recommended long-term solution for this section. This alternative will shift Teston Road slightly to the north from its current alignment while keeping Keel Street the same. The GO rail overpass will be implemented in the future. This alternative has a relatively small construction footprint and removes the reverse curve. However, several driveways for the nearby commercial properties will be impacted. Section 2 is the section of road that passes between the Vaughan Township landfill to the north and the Keel Valley landfill to the south, from Rodinia Road to the west side of the valley area. The private landfill is also present on the western portion of this section. Given the extensive landfill monitoring infrastructure present throughout the area, 2 basic roadway cross-sections were considered. The first cross-section is a full-width section that is the standard design for new roads within York Region. The second is a smaller cross-section that will allow the roadway to pass between the landfills and avoid significant impacts to the landfills to the north and south. Section 2 contains a couple of industrial structures and passes between the Vaughan Township and Keel Valley landfills. This area is part of a planned expansion of the North Maple Regional Park. The aerial mapping of Section 2 provides context to the constraints in this area. The proposed new 4-lane road with the constrained cross-section is shown here. The area is surrounded by industrial sites and landfill monitoring infrastructure to the north and south. The northwestern portion contains the private landfill and associated access road. Directly north, the Vaughan Township landfill includes several well monitoring sites in addition to an access road and additional infrastructure. To the south, there is an industrial property just east of Rodinia Road, as well as the Keel Valley landfill, which contains monitoring wells similar to the Vaughan landfill in addition to access roads. There is a large difference in elevation between the north and south landfills. The road is proposed to be built on top of the narrow strip of raised land, adding to the justification for the constrained cross-section. Due to the limitations in this section, the constrained road cross-section was recommended with long-term protection for a full-width cross-section. Details on recommendations for active transportation, including pedestrians and cyclists, are provided in the next presentation. Section 3 pertains to the crossing of the valley from east of the landfills across to the Teston Road and Dufferin Street intersection. This section considered 4 alternatives, including a single-span, double-span, and triple-span bridges, along with the do-nothing alternative. Section 3 crosses through the valley lands, which consists of forested communities from the end of the landfills to the residential areas at Dufferin Street. Upon evaluation of the various bridge alternatives along with the do-nothing alternative, the single-span bridge was recommended. While all bridge alternatives will have impacts to the valley from both temporary construction impacts and permanent impacts, the shorter structure is relatively simple to construct and less expensive. Beyond the footprint of the bridge, the remainder of the valley crossing includes embankments along the length. The design for this section of the project will include integration of public amenities such as existing or planned trails, parks or natural areas, and will ensure a context-sensitive and sustainable design solution. It will also include revegetation of the embankments, and additional investigations will be undertaken to limit the extent of the embankments where feasible. This IEA is also proposing the widening of Teston Road to 4 lanes between Dufferin Street and Bathurst Street. Widening alternatives include widening equally on each side of the existing road, widen on the south side only, widen on the north side only, and future do nothing, keeping the road as 2 lanes. Section 4 consists of open fields, forests, commercial uses, and several residential neighborhoods. Widening on both sides of the existing road is the recommended alternative for Section 4. This is because it has the least environmental and socio-economic impacts while also performing the best from a transportation perspective. It is more complex to construct, but this is largely a temporary condition and will require construction staging to be designed to reduce impacts to users. Widening equally on both sides of the existing road would require the addition of approximately 2 meters on each side of the roadway. This minimizes grading impacts on both the north and south side of Teston Road. It also avoids impacts to the existing hydro poles and avoids the need to extend an existing culvert located just west of Saul Court. In summary, based on the work completed previously, the study team has proceeded with a preliminary design of the recommended alternatives for each section. This includes an at-grade crossing with an improved alignment of Teston Road in Section 1, along with long-term property protection for grade separation, use of the constrained cross-section in Section 2 to avoid the landfill infrastructure, and for reasons of continuity for Section 1 and 3 as well, use of the full-width cross-section within Section 4, and protection for a full-width cross-section elsewhere, a single-span bridge structure with span length for Section 3, and widening of the existing Teston Road equally on both sides from Dufferin to Bathurst. In general, comments received were supportive of the progress to date, evaluation process, and recommended alternatives as presented at the 3rd open house. Significant topics of concern were surrounding area transportation issues, environmental impacts, noise generated from the new road, and the speed of the environmental assessment, design, and construction process. Participants in the 4th open house will have the opportunity to participate in a survey and provide feedback. Details can be found in the main presentation. Thank you for viewing our recap of the project. Please view the main presentation on the current phase of the study.